Today marks 1617 day of daily lessons, daily reflections. And today we'll speak about yes or no, but it will be totally reflection day, not a lesson day, totally reflection day. And reflect on seven truths that comes from the topic of the yes or no, indirectly and directly. And I think that there is a beautiful topic because the things that you say no to, or the things that you say yes to, will dictate what kind of life you live. So number one is saying no is a skill, but not the end goal. So what it means is that a lot of times people are people pleasers and they say yes to everything. So we need to learn how to say no. But saying no is not the end goal. The end goal is being able to say yes to the right things, the things that matter, to the things that really brings meaning, purpose, joy, bliss our lives, not draining our energy and resources. So the end goal is really being able to say only yes to the things that matter. Of course, for people pleasers, sometimes first thing is being able to learn to say no to everything, and then calibrate to say yes to the right things. Number two, not all discomfort is fear. Not all discomfort is fear. What it means is that a lot of times people say yes to things because they're fearful of of rejection. Sometimes people say no because of fear as well, because being seen. So interesting. Sometimes being saying yes is a fear of rejection, and saying no is a fear of being seen by other people, or any reason that they are fearful to really do the thing is opportunity to show up. And sometimes it's just a preference. I think that we really need to learn to understand when is a preference. And do you want to go to a dinner to eat out, or do you want to eat at home? So do you want to eat outside? I said no. I want to eat at home. This is a preference. But say do you want to speak in front of 1,000 people? You potentially could say no, even though deep inside you say want to say yes because you're fearful of speaking in front of 1,000 people. So this is again we need to understand that what that yes or no is from. Maybe it's from fear or it's just a preference, small thing. Number three, small decisions still shape your identity. Small decisions still shape your identity. So that means that small decisions, yes or no, and sometimes small decisions shape our identity even more than big decisions. Because sometimes we can say yes to a big thing, but because of small things that we do on a daily basis, we are not able to achieve that big thing. Say that, do you want to achieve great health? Yes. And then on daily basis, you need to make those yes or no. Someone asks, "Do you want go to McDonald's?" You're supposed to say no, because you already made the big decision to be healthy. But on a small decision scale, now you're saying yes to things that you're supposed to say no, and that small decisions dictate your identity because now you will see yourself as a person who goes to unhealthy places to eat. And if you go to a place unhealthy place to eat, maybe you are an unhealthy person in a health wise, energy wise. Number four, being always being always doing that identity always doing can become identity trap. Because sometimes we say yes because we cannot be uncomfortable by being still. Because I know I'm guilty of that 100%. For me, it was very hard to be still in one spot. Even my mom said that you always need to move. It's very hard for you to put your butt on the bed. And interesting, that could be a trap because sometimes we need stillness. It's necessary for us to learn, to educate, to reflect, to really build that inner peace because inner peace is coming from stillness. And if you're not able to really say no to things, so you can really build that stillness. Because if you want to have inner peace, you need to have stillness. And if you want to have stillness, you need to say no to things so you can have that block time just for inner peace. Or maybe you said that you say yes to inner peace and no to all other things that is blocking time for that. Number five, healing is not an excuse. It's a phase of recalibration. And it's again, sometimes we can call I call it healing, but there's a lot of different seasons. And sometimes in different seasons, we say, potentially would say yes or no. For example, there's event going on. It's coming up event, and you said it. Someone asked, "Do you want to go to that event?" Maybe you're in a season that you need more stillness to say, you said no. But now after stillness, when you recalibrate yourself, when you know who you are and everything is in a great shape, now we say yes. So your yes or no might be based on season, but you're not supposed to use a season as an excuse. For example, I'm in a healing season, so I will say no to everything. No, there's a lot of things that will pop up in your life during healing season that you still need to say yes to because it matters. Because it matters for your future, for your direction, where you're going to, even though it might be still uncomfortable. Number six, the real upgrade is acting from choice, not compulsion. And I think that's beautiful. So when you think about yes or no, this needs to be always speak about pause and reflection. Pause and reflection. So when someone asks, or when a decision needs to come up and you need to say yes or no to that decision, sometimes we are not aware that we're making that decision. So sometimes being able to reflect, I will need to make decision, yes or no. And now rather than reactive mode where there's habit, fear, or pressure, now you think about, okay, how I could intentionally make that decision, yes or no, no matter, doesn't matter what it is, but intentional. And that pause and reflection makes that choice intentional. It is a beautiful thing when you're able to really make those daily choices intentional and knowing why we're making and not moving through life on autopilot. And last one, number seven, is become balance comes from integration, not extremes. Balance comes from integration, not extremes. So that means that we need to really learn how to say yes and no in a harmony. Because sometimes we can say yes to all the things, sometimes we can say no to all the things, but that's not how life works. It could work, but it will not work at the best that it could be. So I think that one of the biggest things is really being able to really, as I said, pause, reflect, and really engage in intentional living. And intentional living is making choices that really matters. A lot of times we say yes to when as I said, we'll feel fear saying yes. Otherwise, we'll feel fear saying no. And still being able to go through that fear and say yes or no because it matters. Because it matters. That's the topic and the idea of today. We need to say yes or no to the things that matters. And that's what we need to learn. I think that when we really say yes to the things that matters and really focus on that, and I think that truly successful people are able to really, even if they say noise or distractions, because distractions, when you say yes to distraction, you're not able to focus on things that matter. And sometimes you need to ask, is this will be distraction or really will elevate me and move me forward where I'm supposed to go? And I think that those questions really is great to really improve our life, become more aware of it. So I hope you just win and see you tomorrow.